And welcome into the Low Post Podcast Week 7 recap. Moving on to Week 8, Week 9, and then Week 9.5, I would say. That kind of makes a little bit of sense. So this morning, if you're a Patriots fan, you're in a very good mood.
Oh, yeah.
If you're Joey Zacco, maybe not. I don't know how Joey feels as an Eagles fan, but I know the Eagles did
he feels like he feels pretty much any other year. Not playing.
Like he's going to come out and drop 8 threes the next week in the Legacy Leagues. That's how Joey feels right now.
Yeah.
Anyways, we'll start with some basketball, enough football talk. Lob City and the Swish Kebabs, 2 undefeated teams, and probably one of the best games of the season. I'm a little upset I didn't get to watch it.
Yeah,
but
highly anticipated game, too. I didn't get to watch it either, unfortunately.
Yeah, we have I got to see the Snap story a little bit when I was studying up on Swish for next week, but they looked good, the Swish Kebabs, and I think it's just Lob City added a few more pieces, and that gives them a little more diversity. Josh Smith is really starting to come around. I mean, I don't think he had double figures in scoring the first couple of weeks. He had 16 last week. So it really looks like Lob City. They always, towards the end of the year, they're like undefeated, and then you ask them a question after a game, and they'll always say, man, we haven't even had our full team play yet. They always like bring these guys out of the shadows like for the last 3 games, and it works out. But I thought that Swish was really able to slow the game down, and that helped them a lot.
Yeah, I would agree with that. It looks like they kind of struggled from the floor. Or at least some people did, like Randy Butler, 5 for 12. Barbosa, 3 for 9. Jacob Mello, 3 for 10. But the thing is, like Lob City didn't shoot as high of a percentage as Swish, but they shoot a lot more. They shoot more threes than Swish does, so you expect a naturally lower percentage from them.
Yeah.
So, like Cody Crawford kind of struggled too on the Lob City end. He went 4 for 9 from 3, but still, he still had 18 points and made 6 free throws.
He went 4 for 9,
despite being 4 for 9. You know.
Yeah, he went 4 for 9 from the field, really, because he didn't shoot anything other than a 3 and a free throw. And you just add. I think they have so many different kinds of players, and that's what helps them.
Yeah, they know how to counter basically every player in the league, I would say.
Yeah, they have a guy for everything you can throw at them. Like they have big guys for when you throw big guys. They have fast guys for when you want to run. They have shooters for when you want to shoot. They got guys that can just go body you in the post when you want to get bodied up. So it's really a complete team. And they got Swish gave them probably their best test of the season. I wouldn't be surprised if we see this in the playoffs, in the championship. I know Joey's going to disagree with that statement, but I do like the Swish Lob Championship this year.
Even Boom, I think, still is a dark horse now. They mentioned they're bringing back Brandon Sweeney, so that's a huge pickup for them. So
I don't know, man.
To look forward to.
I think there's something fishy going on there.
You think they're bluffing?
No, I don't think they're bluffing. But Sweeney hasn't. He's like, how are they going to play him in the playoffs? He hasn't played the 3 games. I asked Joey about it, and he was like, "Oh, he was hurt, and he was on their roster before, so it doesn't matter." And I'm like, "Oh no, got to get the Watergate tapes out, something like that."
Paying him off, paying the commish off.
Commish has favorites, I think.
Yeah,
I think giving Brandon Sweeney gives Boom a chance to beat a few teams that may scare halfway.
Yeah.
I might tell Joey that I had a broken leg all season and that I'm going to start playing point guard for the Duyes boys. Even though I didn't
might not believe you, but hey, it's worth a shot.
I don't think it's going to be as effective as Boom adding Brandon Sweeney either. But we talked about Boom Shakalaka.
Yeah, you want to speak about that game now, Boom, and your game?
Let's talk about the game. What did you see? Did you watch that?
Yeah, I was on stats for that one, and I think that's probably the most complete team effort I've seen from the Duyes boys so far. Yeah, contributions from everyone. Boom, credit them. It's a great win to win that game shorthanded. Only had 4 guys. Jeremy D'Amico went off 32 points. And you guys, that was the main problem. You guys didn't really have an answer for D'Amico.
For the height,
We mentioned that last week on the podcast. It would be tough for you to find a good matchup for everyone on the floor. But Boom had a tough time finding matchups everywhere on your end too. Anthony Melise goes off for 20 points.
There were a lot of times, like I'm looking back at the highlights from that game, and a lot of his threes, he went 6 for 11 for 3, were just open. Like they didn't want to cover him for some reason. They weren't covering 3-point shooters. They were like, all right, we're going to let them shoot the three. And in the second quarter, third quarter, when we went on our little run, like we had, doing the math, 43 points between those 2 quarters when they only had 31. When we went on a little run there. That was really a lot of it was 3-point shooting. And then, of course, Malisi went and threw up on the court, but that's a different story. That ruined our momentum, dude. We had they only had 4 people. They were gassed. We were on a run. We were running the floor with them. I could have subbed him for a couple seconds, but he had to just go puke on the free throw line and give him a 15-minute floor timeout to clean it up.
That was probably one of the most interesting things I've ever seen happen on a basketball court. I'm glad I didn't witness the actual act happen.
I didn't see it either. I didn't know it happened.
Yeah, I just saw everyone stop, and then everyone looked in the same general area of the court, and then I was like, oh, that's what happened. But
see, I have never seen that on a basketball court, like a basketball floor. I've seen people puke in practices. I've seen people run to the trash cans to puke. I mean, there was one guy from the Skyhookers puking behind me a couple weeks ago, and I think it was your game.
Oh,
so, but on the floor, I've never seen that. And that's my boy too. I love it, but I mean, that's hilarious. I've never seen it, and that changed the momentum. Boom. That's something that you're not going to see in the stat sheet that you're like, oh, maybe if he didn't puke, it would be a different game. But, I mean, you can't go back and change the past.
I think, Kutu struggled for you guys shooting the ball. He still made a great impact with 18 boards, 10 assists, a triple-double, his first triple-double, I would imagine. So, basically from that, we all knew he was a good player, but this is kind of another example of how good of a player he is, where he can impact the game despite being not the best shooter. And then that also... him being a threat was also what opened up guys like Malise, Lugo, Aaron Avant for 3. So
and Lugo's been having pretty good games recently too. I think he had 19, and now 18.
Yeah, he's been. So he's become very consistent. Found that shot, and Aaron Avant again, another great week from him production wise. I mean, only 4 for 12, but his impact, his defense was all there.
Yeah, he's another body on the court that the defense needs to respect. They need to come out on. They need to play. They can't just lack off and play zone and in their rotation. So he's another body out there that they actually need to actively guard. And the more of those guys you have, the more open the other guys are going to be that maybe need to be more open. Aaron can work his own shot. Kutu can work his own shot. Malisi's got a great shot, but he's more of a spot-up guy. You hit him open in the corner, he'll hit it. Lugo's more of a spot-up guy. He can take one dribble in and hit it. Great on the drive though. His little left-handed flick thing is really good. But I thought credits to Boom. D'Amico did a great job locking up Kutu. It was a very physical game, a very chippy game. There were a couple calls that could have been called, could have not been called. I'm not going to complain. It's a men's league. But in a game like that where it gets physical, usually the undersized team is going to get screwed. And that's what happened. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Boom did a great job on the boards as well. I'm looking at now 49 rebounds for them as a team.
Yeah.
Really impressive. And honestly, it's kind of weird to look at it, the foul count, but it was 15-5 in favor. Boom only had 5 fouls, which, I mean, the same thing that happened with us earlier when we played Swish. We only had 4 guys, and we were the foul count was heavily in the team with 4's favor. So I feel like sometimes these refs just give these guys a break when they're shorthanded. But
there were a few physical calls that I think could have been made, could have given us some shots, and then some misses on our part where they would call a foul where I didn't think there was a reason to. They were just trying to slow it down. But again,
I'm not gonna say that the refs didn't have to change the outcome of the game. It's just interesting. We had a trend I've noticed that the less guys you bring, the less stuff they call against you.
We had it tied 73 with a minute left.
That's why Boom actually only won 6 guys from the beginning of the season.
Yeah, and they've been really shorthanded all season.
Yeah, I know.
Because they have 6 guys on their roster, and not everybody shows up every week.
Yeah.
But it was tied with a minute to go, 73-73. And then they really just wanted to run.
Yeah.
They went an 8-0 run with a minute.
Yeah. I'll say once it's tied and it's late in the game, usually whoever breaks that tie and gets if you can break the tie and then get a stop, you pretty much win the game because you just need
exactly
to that point to close it out.
Exactly, and that was really all they needed to do was hit their free throws and just score one more time on us, and that's what happened. And credit to Boom, they're a great basketball team. They are they played together before. They know how to win. They know how to close out games, and that's exactly what they did. Moving on to your game.
Yep.
Pizza Rolls. That was the closest game I've seen the Pizza Rolls play in since week 1, Brian. Congratulations.
I don't know if that's
No,
anything
I'm
to
just
be
messing with you.
proud of, but
I'm just messing with you. You guys were even saying you were just kind of messing around.
yeah, I think it was a good week. I mean, obviously we only won by 17. Everyone on social media was like saying, "How is it that close?" But I think if you watch the game, you could kind of tell that we were,
Yeah.
like, like whenever it got less like around 10, we would just kind of turn it on for a few minutes and then coast and then
Coast.
mess around and try and do new things, try and throw some lobs, stuff like that, and then, yeah.
It was
So
like a
obviously,
glorified scrimmage.
yeah. But I mean,
So
everyone scored. Connor had a good contribution, 15 points from him.
this is
Um,
best night. 15
yeah,
points,
7 to 10
15
shooting.
rebounds. Oh, no, that was you, 15 rebounds.
Yeah,
15 points, 6 rebounds, 2 blocks. I
yeah,
would go 2.5 blocks because that one was that one earlier was a monster block.
yeah.
But I wanted to say, you and Gino have been really consistent around that 20-point area all season.
Hmm.
With Connor stepping up and getting that 15, and Dave coming back to the playoffs, that's huge.
Yeah, yeah. Connor's really taken a huge step for us this year in terms of playing good defense and just being able to finish around the rim better.
It seems like he got either faster or more confident over the season,
Yeah.
one of the two. But he looks a lot better out on the floor for you
Hmm.
guys than he ever has in the past.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And then
And
Brad coming
Brad
in.
with 10 rebounds.
Yeah, I was looking at that too. 10 boards. Um, yeah, good contributions all around. And then we did a good job on defense, shutting down Benjamin Floyd,
Mhm.
0 for 14
Oh
from
yeah,
him, and then
he had
Rocco
1 point.
Lombardi. I mean, he had 27, but I think we
Actually,
did a good
mid-game,
job of holding
Rocco
him.
finished on you guys. I forgot when it was. I think it was second half, and he was walking by, and I was like, "Hey, Rocco, are you playing next year? Like, we could use a big in the
Yeah,
summer." He's a good player. 12 for 25 from the
yeah,
field.
exactly. I think if he was on a
Missed a
better team, he'd also have a higher efficiency because
Yes,
he
I
wouldn't
was
have to
just
take
about
as
to
many
say that.
shots. Yeah,
Yes, and he wouldn't be like I want to use him in a way where he doesn't have to dribble as much and he won't
yeah,
have to pass as much. We can get him the ball in the little block area, maybe outside of the block where he can hit his mid range or
mhm,
he can make a move towards the hoop because he does have long arms.
yeah,
And if you use him and he's got a good shot, you use him in the right way, he will produce for you guys. You're using him, they're using him as their Kobe Bryant. Like he's a great player. He's not a Kobe Bryant.
he's
He would be
basically
great.
being used as like a point forward kind of
Yeah,
player right
he
now.
would be. I would say he's a star asset, not a star player. If that makes any
Yeah,
sense.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's fair.
and yeah, you guys did shut down Benjamin Floyd. He's been inconsistent, very
Yeah,
inconsistent. He's had games where he's had like 20 points, and games where he's had 1 point. And really, you don't know what you're gonna get from him. It all depends on how many shots he takes because he takes a lot of
hmm,
shots. So that one's that. It's a 17-point victory. You're second in a row.
yep. There we go.
Congratulations. And then you guys have halfway next. We'll get to that
Yeah.
one later, but we'll talk about halfway now.
Hmm.
121 to 81, and I have a feeling this was a statement game from the Crooks. They lost a spot in the power rankings this week after this game for whatever reason, but
Yeah.
Swish had put up 144 against the Pizza
Pizza
Rolls, and
rolls.
everyone was
Yeah.
like, "Oh my God, Swish! They just added all these new people, better than the Halfway Crooks. Going to be the rematch against Lob City." And I think it kind of angered the Halfway Crooks a little bit. Not saying that Swish isn't going to be in the finals. Not
Hmm.
saying that they're not better than Halfway Crooks. I'm not saying that the Halfway Crooks are worse than Swish because it's simply not true. They haven't played yet.
Yeah.
All I know is 121 points is a lot
Yeah.
against someone other than the Pizza Rolls. It's a lot.
Yeah. And when you put up 62% shooting from the field and 17 3, 17 for 38 overall, that's yeah, hard to not win when you can shoot that efficiently.
Yeah, they shot the lights out of the gym. Look, 5 players in double figures. John Sline had 9, so
Hmm.
almost 6. Joey with almost 30 points, 28.
Yeah.
Dylan Lincoln with 26. Brett Cody with 25. Mike Wilbur with 16. Hanson with 10. Just an all-around dominance from the Crooks, I
Yeah.
would say.
Yeah. Very balanced scoring, balanced rebounding too. Lincoln had 10. Brett Cody had 9. Stuff like that.
Nobody had less than 4.
Yeah, and then 28 assists too on 52 made shots is a lot as well. I mean, it was just a
Yeah.
great game from them. The Skyhookers also started out the game 3-on-4,
Yep.
so they were at a disadvantage to begin with. And then once the other guys showed up, I mean, O'Donnell had 27 points and 27 shots. That's tough. to win that way. They were also without the Allman brothers this
Almonds.
week. Yeah, so there was nothing going for the Hookers in terms of winning this game. So I mean, you hate to lose by 40 though, but I don't think it really affects how the Skyhookers have been this year or who they are.
Yeah, I mean, a win is a win is a win. So you
Mhm.
win 99-98 or you win 99-1, it's a 1 in that column.
Yeah,
And a loss
exactly.
is a loss is a loss. It goes both ways. So I mean, it's only as bad as you lost, it's only one loss in the loss column, and they have a lot to build on. It shows that O'Donnell is really a star, as if there was any question there whatsoever. I mean, 27 points, he can carry the team, and then it shows that the other guys can step up when they need to. Usually, they don't have any other double-figure scorers other than O'Donnell, Almond, and one more, give or take.
Sometimes Zach Ward steps in there.
Yeah, it helps when Zach Ward wasn't even the guy in double figures.
Yeah.
So it shows that, like, it probably gives the other guys a little bit of a confidence boost, even though they lost. It's still just hard to ignore the glaring dominance from the halfway crooks in this one. I mean, they did everything right.
Yeah.
Everything. Yeah. They shared the ball. Everybody on their team rebounded. Everybody on their team shot well. And everybody on their team was involved. I mean, they were all in it. The bench was involved even when they weren't playing. Everybody was talking to each other. You had 1, 2, 3 guys over 70%. You had 5 guys over 50% in shooting. So just an unreal team effort from the halfway crooks. Probably one of the best team games we've seen from anyone this season.
Yeah, that was by far their best game all year.
And I think they're going to look to build on that next week against you guys. What's the game plan, modus operandi, whatever you want to call it?
So I mean, I think it's always been a close game when we play them, but it's gonna be tough now. Now they added Brett Cody, they have the size advantage on us. It really comes down to a few things for us. Can Gino continue to shoot the ball well? Because that's what he's been doing over the past few weeks.
Is Dave gonna be there?
Yeah, I believe so. So can I like find a little more consistency, a little bit better shooting the ball for me as well will help us win. And then we just got to limit the threes from Kamish, limit the threes from Brett Cody, Dylan Lincoln as well. Those guys, if you leave them open, they're gonna hit. So and Jared Hampton too, the reigning 3-point champion. So
I don't want to insult Joey in any way, but I never thought that going into a game against the halfway crooks, he'd be one of the top guys on your list for game planning.
Yeah,
like, all right, we got to stop this guy from 3. Usually, like,
he's been flying under the radar for the past few weeks, and no one's been.
The last few years, he's just been flying under the radar, and then this last couple of weeks, he popped right up.
Yeah,
it's like he hit like a speed bump going like 50 miles an hour and just shot right up.
Yeah, but also we should also mention that this week when we played the Pizza Rolls, we weren't even supposed to play them because there was some scheduling issues. It was a little
Bullworms didn't show.
The Bullworms didn't show, and the Blazers didn't show also. So they just put us against the Pizza Rolls. So we still.
Yeah, now you get to play them twice. You guys are.
So we have
extremely. I wish I had to play Pizza Rolls twice.
Yeah.
No offense to them, they get an extra game. They get an extra shot at a win.
Exactly. Yeah.
But back to you guys, halfway crooks. I think yes, it is very important. I think Gino is going to be your X factor, and X factor not as best player on the floor, but X factor as in if Gino shows up, you guys have a great shot. If Gino isn't shooting consistency or is off, I think it takes a lot from your game plan. Whereas when it comes to you or Dave, you guys can get inside a little bit easier. So if you're not shooting with the most consistency, if you're still getting inside, you're still drawing defenders to you, and you're still doing your job offensively. So there's a lot more you guys can do when you're not shooting the lights out from 3. But I do think Gino, like, his 3-point shot is that X factor in that game.
Yeah. I think we just also need some more solid defense and from Connor and those guys. So
yeah, it's going to be a size battle. Brad and Connor, Sline and Lincoln.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a good game. I mean, I hope so. Usually they've been close. We've gone to overtime with them like probably 3 times now over the past couple seasons. So yeah.
They're a really good team, and they're up there right now in the standings and the rankings. If you guys can beat them, that shakes everything up.
Yeah.
That changes everything. I'd really enjoy that. I'd enjoy putting all the stress on Kamish.
I think it doesn't really shake things up it shakes things up more so because because the Crooks will have 2 losses.
Mhm.
Like they'll still be in third. Like they're not close to. I mean, I don't know. It'll be very close if we do beat
Well,
them.
then
Then
you guys are what? You guys would be 3-4,
it'll be 4-4
right?
if we win.
4-4. Yes. And they'd be 4-2.
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
So yeah,
5-2.
that wouldn't really mean anything.
But they
But
still have to play Swish at some point too. So one of
yeah,
the teams is getting another loss before the
exactly,
season's over.
exactly. So that's a really important game for the halfway Crooks,
Mm-hmm.
I would say,
But
because
yeah,
they have a tough matchup next week too against the Blazers the week after that.
yeah, that's true.
So we'll move on. I think the next closest game of the week there is going to be, I'd say, Skyhookers versus the Blazers.
Yeah, that game looks like it has potential to be a close one. Both of those teams need a win too. I mean,
Yeah,
Skyhookers looking to get to 4-4. Blazers looking to get to 4-3. So I don't know. The winner of that'll shake things up in that 4 to 7 range of teams where it's like
yeah.
it's us, Boston, Boom, and the Skyhookers right now all locked in tight. So
Mm-hmm. And we're one game behind the whole group.
yeah, exactly. So if you guys catch
And
your
we have
stride over
Sky last.
the last 2 weeks,
If Sky loses this one and then loses to us, that moves us up a little bit. But Sky, I think they're gonna have a tough matchup because Boston plays very good interior, both defense and offense. And you see when O'Donnell is just kind of dribbling the ball, making stuff happen. He doesn't sorry, he doesn't dribble around the perimeter, dancing around. Like he'll penetrate and he'll dribble through the paint, like around the paint, try to get guys moving around and then make a pass backwards towards the paint or like the other way on the weak side. And I think he's going to have a tough time doing that against Boston. They're quick. They love to run. They talk on defense. And when you get in a game of fast breaks, like teams that love to run, usually it's a team with the best point guards or the best handlers. And you take O'Donnell out of that, which I think they're going to try to do with Corey Strickland. They really don't have anybody to move the ball well. I mean, Zach Ward can handle the ball. Nolan Dubois can dribble the ball. Dubois, I don't know how to say it, but they don't have anybody that can handle the ball at the speed, at the accuracy, at the efficiency of O'Donnell.
I think
that's gonna.
I think the X factor for the Skyhookers to win this game is that they need Chase Allman to be there.
Yeah, it's attendance.
Yeah, well, in terms of size, I think the Blazers are similar to us, and Allman was able to basically win that game against us by being athletic and dunking on us. I think he can play a similar type of game against the Blazers. So I think that'll be important because I think O'Donnell will get his 20 points regardless. And then they got to limit Corey Strickland too. I think he has potential to go off. They don't really have a good matchup for him defensively. So it'll be interesting to see who the Skyhookers put on him and to see how he does against that.
I think if the Blazers have the offensive night that they're capable of having, that they can take this one. But if the Skyhookers can confuse them a little bit defensively, it's going to be a really good game. I think that's going to be the best game of the week. So we'll go to probably the third best game of the week. I don't know. We got Lob and Pizza. Nope.
Yeah.
Boom and Bullworms and us and the Swish Kebabs. We'll break down the Duyes boys and the Swish Kebabs. I think, again, main story in this, as it is in every one of our games, we have nobody to match up Greg Bell, Del Butler, Randy Butler. I don't even think we have anybody as tall as Ellis on our team.
Yeah.
So that's going to be tough.
It's going to be tough because Kutu can only guard one guy.
Yeah.
When you'd ideally want him guarding all four of them.
We don't play man because we always get beat for whatever reason. I would love to play man, but we can't. So the last game, in the middle of the game against Boom Shakalaka, we were running probably the best zone I had thought we run. I mean, the guys were talking. They were rotating. The guards were dropping down when the forwards had to pull out. We were denying the ball from the inside. If we can play that type of zone for 40 minutes, I think we can limit Greg Bell to 20 points and 15 rebounds. And I think that's good enough for us. I think if we can stay.
Don't let him get 60. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, exactly. You let him get 60. You let Barbosa get 30 assists. Forget it. I want to keep this one, like my goal. Obviously, I want to win it. But my goal is to keep Swish within the 70 to 80 point range. And I think from there, we can score that many points, especially in a fast-paced game, and that gives us a shot to win.
Yeah. I mean, gonna be a tough game to win.
Oh yeah,
Swish is not an easy
not at all.
opponent, especially when you're outside, like you mentioned. So, I mean, best of luck to you. But I think it could end up not in your favor. It could be like a 20, 25-point game if that was my analysis.
I'm a little scared that it could, but yeah. I mean, obviously, Swish has that ability to do that to anybody they play. Because
Exactly, yeah.
But they like to run a lot, and so do we. We're really good at running. That's probably the best thing that we do is run the fast break. And I know that they are really sized, so my goal is to try to get them a little tired. I don't know. I will figure something out to try to keep it close. But yeah, like you said, Swish Kebab has the blowout ability. They're probably their top 2-3 team in the league. So they're unreal. And then we'll move to the other unreal teams. We have Boom and Alaskan.
Yep.
That's going to be, I think, I like Boom in that one too. I like Boom because they're faster than Alaskan. They can shoot a lot better than Alaskan. And they have someone that can take Matt Barber out of the game. They can match up with Matt Barber and not let him score 30 points. And you do that, beautiful.
It'll be interesting to see Brian Sweeney in his return.
Oh, yeah. Forgot about that.
So, yeah, that'll be something to look forward to in that game because it'll be a nice game for him to be welcome back, as Boom should win by 20 to 25 or even more, to be honest.
Yeah, I love Sweeney. He's a great player. I think he adds them.
Yeah, you can.
I think he adds the height that you needed when Jeremy couldn't play 40-something minutes in the game. Like you need a second big out there, and I think that helps. And then Lob and Pizza, maybe the ugliest game of the year. It could not be. I remember we were saying that when it was Lob, Shake and Bake last year, and Shake and Bake stayed with it a little bit with Chief. But but I do think that the pizza rolls are not as fast as Lob. They're not as big as Lob. I mean, Lob knows this league. They know each other. I don't see.
They're gonna put the Lob in Lob City this week, is what it seems like.
Dude, it's gonna be a massacre.
Yeah.
Like you guys posted the burnt pizza rolls in the oven or something. Like, oh my god, it's bad. This is gonna be bad.
Yeah.
I don't think this is gonna be a good game. Like, I don't even think Lob City's gonna have fun. I think this might be close because at the half it might be just a huge blowout, and Lob City's just gonna be like, you know what, whatever. Like they're just gonna mess around.
I think Cody tries to break Greg Bell's scoring record. That's my prediction.
Really? I think if anybody has a chance to break the scoring record, it's gonna be Vic because he just dominates them on the inside and inside.
I think Cody has a chance because I think he's gonna realize, you know what, this is my week to do it. I'm gonna shoot a bunch of threes, and if he's hitting, then he could easily get over 60.
Yeah. Oh, without a doubt. If he's hitting, he could score 70 points in a night.
Yeah.
So this just depends on how much he wants to shoot.
Watch for in this game is if Cody goes for the scoring record, or like you said, Vic could do it too. Vic, I could see him going for it too. But
Vic's 3-point shot's been on this year.
Yeah. So 2.5 weeks to go because you have some makeup games now.
So we'll check back with I think each team has a few things that they just need to chop up before they get into the playoffs.
Yeah.
I think Lob and Swish are the two exceptions, maybe halfway. I love the way halfway played last game. They need to keep that up. If they keep that up, I don't think they'll lose to anybody when their whole team is rebounding and all that. So we'll start with Boom. They added Sweeney. I think they need to find – here's what I would say for Boom. You got Lucas at the beginning of the game. You got Lucas bringing the ball up and Lucas looking for Lucas's shot. You need to get him off the ball, work him in off ball, and try to get his shot going with open catch and shoots at the beginning of the game. Because too many times he falls into a cold spell at the beginning of the game and it takes him out for the entire thing.
Yeah, that's true.
What do you think? Your Werewolves captain, all-star from the Werewolves. What do you think you guys – the one glaring thing you guys need to improve on before playoffs?
I think we need to improve our 3-point.
Okay.
Because, I mean, I've been struggling. I ideally want to shoot more than like 10%. And then we have guys like Jared who have shown glimpses of being able to shoot the ball. So, yeah, I mean, I think if we can shoot the ball better, then we'll be all right. So I don't know.
Yeah, and I think a lot of the things for every team, like you said, is just offensive consistency. I think the Blazers need it, offensive consistency. I think the Skyhookers need a little bit of offensive strategy. It's just O'Donnell, chaos, find a big open. Like, I mean, that's all there is. They're handing O'Donnell the ball and saying, make something happen. They need a little bit of consistency. As for the Duyes boys, we need to play a 40-minute game. We need to start the way we finished. We can't start down 20-5 and go on a 40-something to 30 run in the middle of the game and then blow it in the last minute. A full 40 minutes. I don't care if we play a full 40 minutes of average basketball, above average basketball, and lose. Consistency.
Yep.
Same with I think that's the same with a lot of teams.
Yeah, that's pretty much the key to the league is to be consistent. Lob's been consistent for years now, and that's why they've been so good.
Yeah. And then some pizza and Alaskan bullworms. They all have that one score. And they need to either find more ways to get him open or find ways for him to get I just got like gas in my esophagus. But either find ways to get him open or find ways to get him to set up the other guys.
Yeah.
Because we notice in this league, you guys have been saying it, you guys have had trouble winning with 2 all-stars. Yeah. It's hard enough with one.
2 scores,
Yeah, you need the other guys to step up. You need to find ways to get them open, find ways to draw attention to yourself if you are the main scorer. And I think that's my progress report, 3/4 of the way into the season. Sure.
Yep.
For the last quarter. And we got Wednesday.
Yeah. See everyone there.
Second to last week. And then we have week 9 and some makeup games.
Yeah.
So this was week 7's recap, week 8 preview, and more from Tyler Krusz and Brian Heston. This is the Low Post Podcast signing off.